Burn Live, y'all. Murray Wangley keeping y'all connected. Hashtagging these red eyes, changing the viewers eye red, keeping underage, smoking off social media, killing myself for your entertainment, sitting here with friends and family, starting a cannabisation. Woo! Welcome to another show, y'all. This is a laid back chill show. We're gonna do a little bit more talking than showing you videos, and just getting into discussion of things that I do have going on or things that are going on. I'm probably gonna get into discussion. Everybody heard about Trump in Colorado. I will be talking about that. I also will be talking about the immigration of mayors getting sent everywhere. I think that's somewhat of a problem. I will be getting a little bit into sports, just because sports has a couple of good things that's going on, a couple of bad things going on. Professional ba- Professional volleyball will be taking its course next year, so that's something different, something new, something we're gonna be getting into. Uh, there are a couple of good movies. I will be discussing more into the Civil War. I think people are still sleeping on the concept of what a Civil War is. Is a Civil War coming? I think people are really not getting the full concept of that. And then I will be playing some sound bites in the background and discussing over some things. So how y'all doing? Are y'all marijuana connected? Are you getting high? Are you having a good day? I'm going live around 3 o'clock today. It's been one of those weird days. I've been sleeping majority of the weekend on my off days. I'm gonna be trying to switch up my off day to try to go live 2 times a day. But hey, I just couldn't do it this time. I did consider it a small problem, just a little bit of problem. I did have a good discussion with um, one of my chat groups. Actually, it was my black conservative. Well, it's not my black conservative. I'm part of a black conservative group, and they be having some good conversations up in the group. And they was talking about the Trump situation in Colorado, and somebody in there said, like, "Hey, how about we just take Trump off of the ballot in Texas?" Now, if we Joe Biden, take Joe Biden off the ballot in Texas, now which would be very funny, and people would be like, "You're trying to get rid of democracy," and that's another word I think I'm gonna look up so we can go over the true word, true definition as I take this dab. First hit of the day, y'all. Ladies and gentlemen, let's take a dab together. Cheers. Woo! Yes, sir. How many of y'all be taking dabs? I love taking dabs. You wouldn't always catch me taking dabs. Ooh, especially at work. What's crazy, and I think I have not said this yet, but when I'm at work and I'm taking dabs, because I take no flour. I take no flour with me to work, so I'm always dabbing at work. And man, bro, I'm dabbing at work like a King Kong, like Chef or ID, like the man that I am. I promise you, I'm sitting up here and I'm dabbing like a champion. But when I get to the crib and I dab with you guys on here, I be feeling like I just cannot hang. And it's crazy to me to see that, like, man, why I can't hang with the big dogs. So I think that I will be starting to dab a little bit more, take a little time out. Shout out to my Facebook fans, my Twitter, my Twitch family, which is always coming up in here. I appreciate. Shout out to my YouTube family and my Facebook family. Hey, I tried to get on Instagram, y'all, and add Instagram to this, and so we can have a big family, just in case one day I hit a big topic or subject or something, and everybody like, you know what, that was the best topic, and I get a chat room going. Hey, one day I'm gonna get a chat room going. One day. One day. So, like I said, y'all, we're getting back into this Trump and getting taken off the we're getting taken off the ballot in Colorado, which a lot of people are saying is wrong, but they do believe that the Supreme Court is going to overturn it. I'm hoping the Supreme Court is going to overturn it. I would hate to sit up here with you guys and not be able to vote for Trump next year. I also, what did I say earlier? I was talking to somebody and I was like, bro, this stuff making me so mad that I'm thinking about just showing a tape of everything that Joe Biden has done or been up to or things that he let allowed in the White House. Is that okay? I do believe I got a video. My friend sent it to me on Instagram. Is it on Instagram? So I do got this video. Oh, Instagram was playing me with the messages. So for some odd reason, the screen doesn't fit correctly, and I couldn't actually see. So I sent it to somebody on Facebook. I be having some cool ass stories on Instagram, and it be a lot of stories on Instagram. I do be wanting to share with you guys. Don't get it twisted. It be a lot of stories I want to share. But that's not it. I'm glad to see that all my videos and my streams are being uploaded and doing a pretty good job. I was I was a little worried about that because this program was showing me, telling me one thing, and then it didn't look like it was doing what it was supposed to do. But yet again, it is. I didn't get a chance to share it out, y'all, so let me share it out real quick. Boom. All right. So I didn't get to share out because I got in book face trouble, and I got a pretty decent audience on Bookface. I really do, and I try to share my content out to certain groups because certain people seem to watch it, and I know what some people will probably think. Where, bro, if they watch your stuff and they like your stuff, they subscribe to your channel. That's true. But sometimes you don't want to subscribe to a person's channel because that person you see their videos enough and you get these you get the passage, you get the idea. Ah, yeah, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. So, y'all, I got this video. I showed it yesterday. I showed this yesterday. I was not proud of showing this yesterday. Don't get it twisted. I was not proud. It was just not something you proud of. But this is just a little bit of what's been going on at the White House so far and what we have allowed. And as I'm playing it, oh, now I don't want to. Oh. Ooh. Hold on. Well, I'm going to just let that play. See, I see all the weirdness that's been going on. Is this it? Nope. That ain't it. That ain't it. That ain't it. So it's not letting me play it real quick. That's okay. But y'all see what's going on. Maybe I don't have to play the video all the time to show y'all this is. I've been waiting to play that for a long time. This, and give a round of applause for people that appreciate all of this nastiness. Come on, man. Coke at the White House, stripping topless at the White House, LBGT twerking. Has any of this done? Has any of this was done during the Biden administration? Yes. Has any of this done during the Trump administration? Has any of this was done against the Barack Obama? Huh? Yes, we're gonna give a round of applause to this because it just it blows my mind that we can let this go and this is straight okay. It's okay. And ladies and gentlemen, they're gonna tell you it's okay. Be like, it's okay. What part of this that we see that we go through makes it okay? What part of that video, any of that video that I just showed y'all, okay? That's what I want to know. But yet again, I don't believe that true American citizens believe in that stuff that I just put up there. I really believe that y'all don't believe in that stuff. I believe yes, the elites, the elites, and there are three big names that when people talk about the elite or the man or and stuff like that, that I believe people has not taken the time out to understand and get the concept of. I guarantee because I heard these three big Rothschild blacks is it Blackstones and names start with a V. I heard these names on big podcasts where they're talking about millions of dollars and things that be going on. I do hear these songs. Song. I do hear these names, and when them names are being brought up, excuse me, when those names are being brought up, then I'll be like, okay, now we stepping into something. Now I'm always getting in trouble for playing instrumentals. I do not care. I need to be able to play instrumentals and play a little bit of something just to entertain myself. Now, I watch this one person on Facebook, and I seemed to came in at the wrong time doing this podcast. He was going off. There were some things that he was upset about. And understand, ladies and gentlemen, there are gonna always be some things that we see on social media, news coverage, your friends. There's always gonna be something out there that somebody do that you not gonna like. Quit playing. Let's stop playing. Okay. But to take out our anger and aggression on the fans, the people that support you, the people that comes around and make you want to do what you want to do, the people that make you want to go live, like the people that come up in my live, I don't know who y'all are, but I appreciate y'all just coming in my life, period, and all the time, and I have a consistency. You know what I'm saying? I would never ever get mad at y'all because maybe I grew the page and I was getting a lot amount of people, and all of a sudden ain't nobody coming up in there, and it already done happened to me twice, so I know where we're going. Where you up here and you doing good and you feel like you're making doing a good cause, and then all of a sudden people stop listening to you. I do know how they feel, but I would never slander my audience. I would ask questions. Now I would ask questions like, "Why y'all not coming up here? What's going on? What do I need to do?" And I do sometimes have an idea, like if I just played music all the time and came back up here and did the old me, just came in here, smoked weed, showed weed, and then started dabbing and doing all this fun stuff that I used to do back in the day without actually having a good cannabisation up in here, I believe my audience will come back. I believe those people will come back and start watching because for the simple fact, it's just entertainment. It's not educational. Um, and not to say that everything I talk about is educational, like I'm just on point and I got everything down and I'll be having every video together to talk about things educational. I just like to bring up random discussions of things that I feel like that are important. Yes. The Trump debate is important. ROC, Vicky Remy Swami, the border crisis, gas prices, um, the rioting in the streets. I feel like these things are definitely are important. I just do. I feel like they're important. I feel like these things need to be discussed because they fucks with us. Anything that has to do with the taxpayers' money, I feel like we should discuss too because that has something to do with us. Cheers. Yeah. People that is not into dabbing, or you're new to dabbing, trust me when I say dabbing is a very good thing. It's way more natural than you rolling your blunts and your flowers. It's you get way more higher with just one hit. And I understand when people say, "Man, I don't like all that coughing," it's because you haven't trained yourself to learn how to hit the dab correctly to where you don't kill yourself. Now you see how I dabbed the first time, and I damn near killed myself. And then I dabbed again, and I was okay. There is a good way and a bad way to dab. I'm just saying. I'm just keeping it so real and so 100. Okay? I got to. I don't want to play no. I don't like to play reindeer games with people. I really don't. So let me get this. Let me get this old El Dorado roll. Let me get this blunt roll. Let me do this real fast. I'm about to get into our next topic, our next subject. Now, if I had a co-host here or somebody's talking with it, it'd be a lot easier for me to roll a blunt and just get into subjects and stuff. But I'm actually doing this with no no intro, no share out. So people like my stuff, people come up here. These are the actual people that checked out the notification and decided to come up in here. Hey. Bookface, I don't own the copyrights to the music. I don't know why they keep wanting me to say that I don't own the copyrights to the music. But I need the jams, man. It's not like I'm playing actually people's music that are famous and 100. Stop playing with me. I'm not making no money, no profit. I'm not asking for none of that. We out here chilling and having a cannabisation. What up, Twitch? How y'all doing? I'm glad Twitch. See, I don't be getting no problems from the Twitch. And everybody was like, at first, you can't come on Twitch and do this. And I be like, man, I've been on and off Twitch for a minute, depending on if I can remember my account or not. I've been on here for a minute with you guys. Now, I do understand it's been a while since I've been on Twitch and I've been live with you guys. But if y'all seen the count, y'all see like, hey, okay, yeah, he was up in here. And I always got at least one person that stops through and comes check me out. And I appreciate that. I'm stopped being spaced it. Big forehead and my mind's getting erased it. The mushroomy bars. I be taking them bars and I be seeing stars. Mercury because I don't wanna have to murk the fams. Hot damn, he just telling like the Taliban. I don't tell my friends everything I do because they try to screw you just like DJ Screw. I'm all screwed up and my mind's gone. They telling me ass is just to stay at home. I can't even vote for who I want. They telling me Trump is a racist cunt. That's another figure. And I be still spitting my words. You think I sound like Jigger. The biggest boys be avenues and the rolling balls. I be hitting strike just like a bowling ball. Come on, man. Hey. I appreciate people stopping through. Like, follow, share. Hit that bell to get that notification when you stopping through, man. Let me know that you're stopping through, baby. That's one thing I'd be appreciating. Let me know when you're stopping through. Like I said, man, I'm about to bring up another topic, bro. I'm about to bring up another subject. I'm about to bring up another topic. I believe you guys need to really sit back and see some of the stuff that I be saying. Now, I do admit that I do got my YouTube page and I do got my Instagram, and all my pages set to make sure that I heard news and information and things that really true matter. If it doesn't really matter, no, I don't really want to hear about it. And certain people, and I say this all the time, if you make my news feed, then it's got to be something kind of important, because my news feed is set for important old government, the you know what I'm saying, the state and all this good stuff that goes on. So for you to hit my news feed, you really got to be doing something, really got to be busy, really got to be up on your game. Now, I'm not gonna get into this support thing. Like, if people, you know what I'm saying, you always supposed to support your family members and all that stuff, and I don't get no support. Who cares? If somebody not supporting you and you be looking for support from them, stop looking for support from them. Obviously, they done showed you that they don't have time for what you be on. It be killing me where people be like, man, all I be needing just support, and from my family members I get no support. So what? And I do understand how you want support from the family. I be wanting support from my family, trust me. And I got support from some of the family. Shout out to the family members that do show support. I'm not hating. I'm not bashing. I'm just speaking a random subject because I keep thinking about Nay, and he was going off on all of us on Bookface earlier, talking about how we not supporting, how we not showing up to his podcast to listen to what he got to say. Like, people don't want to watch and listen to his lives a little later, you know what I'm saying? But I understand you do miss a chance to probably winning something, giveaways or something special. If you're not there doing a person's live podcast, if they live stream their podcast to give you an opportunity to time in, put your 2 cents in, you know what I'm saying? Maybe somebody will read it because it was very interesting. You know what I'm saying? Those are things that you get a chance to miss. Those things you miss because you wasn't there doing a live show. Now, those things right there, I can honestly like, okay, yeah, I would be somewhat a little mad at you because I need you in my show. I was doing giveaways. I had little speakers, which I still got the speakers. I might still do the giveaways for them. But I was asking little trivia questions to people, and I would never get a respond back, so therefore I could never hand it out. I still owe one person a speaker, and I do not know where my lighter at. Which now I think I do know where my lighter at. So actually, before I get I can't do it. Y'all give me 1 second so I can go get my damn lighter. I'm so sorry. I'll be right back. And we back. Hey, I had the lighter on me this whole entire time, bro. That was crazy. That was stupid. That was stupid. So, ladies and gentlemen, you just worried about your family members. You're worried about their health. You're worried about the love that you bring to your family members every day. You just want to make sure they're okay, they're all right. You can take them places where they need to go. Understandable. You want to grow them up to be strong individual people that can take care of themselves when you get too old and you need somebody to take care of you. You want to teach them the right ways so they can help take care of you. I get that and I understand that. I'm with you on this. But now there has come a time, and it's happening now. It's done happened for the last 5 years, I would say. Last 5 years, there have been a change and shift of what matters, what truly function in a household, what is important, and what is we need to talk about. And you look at these subjects and topics because I've been looking through these subjects and topics of things that goes on, and about making money in a household, who should bring the money home, um, why women shouldn't be working in the modern day because women don't want to work, or if you get an independent woman, she can't never find a date. It's really this total unbalanced recall that you want to say that if you had a chance to teach something over or learn something new today in 2023 or 2024, whenever you're seeing this, you would wonder, how did I get here? Where did I start? What was the past? What was the history? What was the foundation of what I'm looking at that started me in this right direction? Right? So this is what some of the things that you look for, and you kind of teach. You know your old, you know your values and how you grew up. You knew things that you don't like. You know things that you do like. Things you participated in, things you didn't want to participate in. So therefore, you teach that to your youth, right? There has been a lot of reports today in today's times of a lot of people saying, and this is from the age of 18 to I think 25. I do believe the story was coming from is a lot of these kids don't want to work. They feel like working is too hard, or they can't reach no goals that they want to reach, and that's highly explainable when it comes to economy and what goes on. They do not teach us about the GOP. They do not teach us about economy. They do not teach us about this stuff that happens in government for real, for real. They do not teach us about taxes and how taxes is formed and where taxes go in high school. They don't teach you that. They don't teach you none of that. What they do teach you is how to read and write, how to do math, a little bit of history, enough to where you should be American citizen and you should love your country and you should go on about your business. Aha. That's how they used to teach America. Now, today, 2023, they're teaching you America about how you feel, what's your sexuality, what's your gender. There's a new math. New math is racist. Eating pumpkin seeds is racist. Yes, eating pumpkin seeds, pumpkin pie, pumpkin milkshake is racist. So this is what the new era is right now. And I'm looking at some of you people out there, and some of you teachers, and some of you parents, and I know some of you teachers and some of you parents out there, and I'm asking a question like, you did not grow up nothing like that at all. You did not. So how in the life written sentences are you allowing this to happen to everybody else? Why are we letting these values, this sexuality, go on in schools when you wasn't taught that when you was in school? Is it seriously that you want to get taught about sexuality, about your feelings and emotions? How can you bring your feelings and your emotions into the workplace and become a better person? That's what I want to know. That's what I would like to hear and see. How can you do that? How can that feng shui? You're telling me that learning how to add, subtract, divide, and multiply, which things you use on an everyday basis, is more important. It's less. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's less important than your gender, than your feelings. Okay. Why is we idolizing the wrong things here in America? We idolize some of the wrongest, some of the weirdest, some of the offsettest things ever here that I can ever be a part of in America. It is getting a little bit scary. It's getting scary. And I said this yesterday in my podcast yesterday, y'all. Y'all can go check it out if you want to. I highly appreciate it if you do. But I mean this right here. I'm saying this about the school system, about the changing of the school system, because I want to get into this next smaller area where we're talking about the border crisis, because that is a big problem. And a lot of people, and I said this yesterday, and I don't believe this not what you want. I truly believe this is not what you want. I guarantee this is not what you want. But a lot of y'all don't care. Y'all don't care. And the reason why you don't care, because it doesn't affect you right now. And I keep trying to tell you it doesn't affect you right now because it's not next year. I'm telling you right now, next summer, the summer, as soon as it warms up, is when you're going to see the effects of all the problems that happened in the last 4 years. I guarantee it. Now, I got a friend that I tell the same stuff, and she be watching everything I do. She's on my case. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm right, I'm right. And if I'm wrong, I'm okay. I'm okay with being wrong. There's nothing to being wrong. I'm a human being. I was just wrong about something. But next summer, when you're trying to get a job, trying to get a second job, trying to get a third job, trying to get a fourth job, and that's hard to do because you got to give immigrants the chance to get a job first. They're gonna go first, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you, they're gonna go first. You're gonna say, "Man, that's not fair," and I'm be like, "I told you." They're here. It's a lot of them, and they're begging for work, danger, and this is the crazy part about what I was tripping off of yesterday that I seen. It was some guys that was on the Fox News at the border, and they was talking about, hey, you know what, we're just circumcelums, we're in danger. Why would you go on camera? Why would you go on in front of a news coverage? Why would you talk to a news anchor man and tell them that I'm in danger? I'm trying to seek asylum when you're putting your face on the camera, when you're putting your face out there for somebody to try to see you, and like, hey, there he is. He in New Mexico. He in Arizona. He in Texas. He in Chicago. Nobody thinks about none of them sacrifices, none of them situations because I really don't know why y'all don't think about that, but I'm starting to really wonder why y'all don't think about it. And I'll be like, oh my God, if y'all would just take the time out, if we, the people, took the time out to think about it, we would be in a better predicament. Oh, I'm tripping. Some of y'all are gonna say, "Yeah, Capiche, you tripping," and totally understandable if you saying that I'm tripping. But listen to these news coverage. Listen to the news coverage, y'all. Okay. If I didn't see the news coverage, maybe it'd have been better. But the news coverage be sometimes explain it the best.
The former Border Patrol Chief Rodney Scott. We kind of can't get over what's happening at the border and the pictures that we see. And oftentimes you'll hear us say, like, this is not sustainable. This can't be possible. And yet it really has been going on for so long. The Border Patrol must be at its wits' end.
Thank you for having me on again. And the morale of the agents is just tanked out. I spent yesterday down in Nogales. I'm still down here today. And the morale is tanked out. But we really have a short memory, I think. President Biden campaigned. He ran for president on a platform that he was going to tear down border security. And they've literally just done exactly what they promised. People also forget sometimes I was in the Biden administration for about 7 months. I participated in conversations with these people. Tom Homan and Bill are right. They do not want to detain people. This is not a problem for them except for the optics. And the optics are getting so bad. It's the only reason that.
Now, I have heard a lot of people say they don't want to lock up people. I have heard a lot of people say that. Look at the picture. I know some of y'all looking at me up straight up and down. Y'all can't see that. Turn your turn your phone sideways, the long way. Boom. Turn it the long way so you can get a better picture. I'm gonna be working on upgrading this too, y'all. I'm thinking about something, thinking about changing some things around already. But these stories,
they're doing these negotiations at the national level. But you'll hit on something. The reason the negotiations aren't going anywhere in the Senate is because the Republicans know H.R. 2 has it in there. Without ending catch and release, either through remain in Mexico or some form of detention, this goes on forever.
what are you supposed to do with these people that's running over here from another country that we don't have no place for them to go? What can you do to these people? Not to be mean, not to be all upset, not to hurt nobody's feeling, but what can we do in a positive set in a positive form that we can put them? Where can we put them? What can we do with them? Where it don't look bad. I'm so sick and tired. And only people that scream racism is the damn Democrat. I'm bro. I understand what Morgan Freeman and Denzel Washington are talking about. I'm just so tired of it. When are y'all gonna get tired of hearing about racism. Everything we try to do, every move we try to make.
And it depends on what you call sustainable. To the Democrats, this is fine, but for our country, this is devastating.
Democratic Senator Mark Warner from Virginia says the negotiations have finally gotten serious. I don't know if they get anything done, but they might want to pull somebody in from the House to get on these negotiations if they really want to move it forward.
Okay, yet again, put it like this, and this is me talking to y'all. This is us talking to. This is just my community talking. Okay, how about they just not come up with no solutions because they're not good at it? How about they ask the people of the United States of America, hey, y'all, what should y'all do with them? Just have a vote. Send them back, not allow them coming over here. We all understand that you cannot go to another country and do what you can do here and get away with what you get away here. You can't do it. You be having people, what's the dude? I can't think of his name. I'm not even finna play around with you guys. But the dude that ran away from America because he tapped into American security and let them know how weak it was. He ran out the country. Another country took him in, but you think he was partying? You think he was working? You think he was having a good time? No. He was sitting up there in a house, bored out his wits. He was so bored that he almost damn near, I do believe, correct me if I'm wrong, if y'all know who I'm talking about, damn near committed a crime to where he got put out the country to where they seized him and brought him back over here. Okay? Okay. This is what I'm talking about. When you go to other countries, you're not treated the same, bro. You treated like an outcast. Here, bro, if you can just get out of this situation right here, out of the jungle, this is the jungle.
Meanwhile, you got
That's the jungle. If you can get out of the jungle, let me just play this on mute while they talking and doing their thing. I don't want y'all to hear it. We don't need to hear it. I just want y'all to see the picture, get a good synopsis of what's going on, bro. Like, this is crazy. Let me just make that one bigger. Okay, they won't never let me do that. Look at that. Look at that. It's at nighttime. Lucky this, they not, and they showing you Texas. They're not showing you Chicago. They're not showing you New York. You know what I'm saying? That's the crazy part. They're not showing you those states. No. You know why they not showing you those states of those crises? And those crises, because those crises look worse than it looks out there in Texas. At least they warm. At least they are warm. They got shelter. Ooh. I just want y'all to listen to this in the background.
Educated, you're less likely to vote, and I think that that's what makes it so difficult for people of color to vote.
Seek help. Medical professionals are everywhere. Mental health is a priority.
All right, guys, so I got to do one of these old school reaction videos. And what evidence do you have of that, right? Because the main place that they love to use as an example for voter ID laws being racist is Georgia. But in Georgia, there's
voter ID law. They're killing me.
What happens when goodbye?
They're killing me with that ID. With that idea that voter fraud is asking somebody to pull out your ID so they can vote. But to get back to the illegal immigrants. Hold on. I want to show y'all what they doing. Because I just showed you Texas. Now this is in Chicago. Chicago is just being the headline more because Brandon Johnson. I don't know. I know that man's name real good, and you're gonna know his name real good watching this show. I promise you. If you watch this show and you watch it consistently, you're gonna learn Brandon Johnson because this man is always in the news for some
Brandon Johnson has decided to sue bus companies for transporting illegal migrants into his sanctuary city.
Last month, Chicago's City Council passed a series of laws meant to regulate buses dropping off migrants. He's now launched 55 lawsuits against what he's deemed rogue companies for violating the regulations.
So the mayor of Chicago wants to stop illegal immigrants from coming to Chicago by suing the bus companies and impounding their buses.
I talked about this a little bit yesterday because I seen the article. I actually seen the article. We talked about the article yesterday. I just love Nate and how he breaks it down. He goes into more depth, way more depth than I do because, yet again, they have time. Y'all, I work. I have a job. I go to work. I only take 2 hours out of my time to sit here with you guys and go over stories and things that happens in the news and around the world and stuff like that, because now I'm doing around the world. I just try to keep it in America most likely. So now that things are really happening and we have to go around the world, because the immigrant problems is bad over here. Nate does a better job. Black conservative channel, they do a better job. Officer Tate, they do a good job. These are three major people who I watch when it comes to like little stories that are hidden under the rug that y'all would never hear about, that I would love to share with everybody. So I have yet, and I'm gonna send them out a letter like, yo, can I share some of y'all content on my show, because you know, I'm doing it for the people who aren't looked at or aren't accountable as human beings. And potheads, listen here, potheads. I'm talking about y'all. Y'all are not counted as real, true ass citizens. We are still looked down in the community as a bunch of nobodies, even though we got $1 billion industry that we are a part of. So quit playing with me when you think that you are a part of something that's super huge and super big. All right? I'm just keeping it real. All right? So yet again, I love this guy. He's gonna tell you more about it. Now, like I said, we seen the Texas, and I told y'all all of this problem is gonna happen to y'all next summer. I'm trying to get jobs. Next winter, when you enroll your kids into a new school and the school is overpopulated, it's overran because, you know what I'm saying, I got all this immigrant problem, because once they get an idea how many people over here and they stop some of the flow of people, and they're going to spread these people out to small town. Illinois, Fairview Heights, Dalton, Illinois. Everywhere is finna get some immigrant crisis going on. Some immigrant people, it's finna get around there and get to see what's going on. Trust and believe that this is finna to happen. But suing the bus company is funny. It's funny. How can you sue the bus company when it's the mayor of Texas that's doing it? You think you'll sue the mayor of Texas? But just sue him. Let's get him on out the way.
Let's talk about it. Now, it's important to note that cities like Chicago and New York touted themselves as sanctuary cities and encouraged migrants to come to those cities. They said they would have particular rights, they would be taken care of, all the benefits of citizenship, even though you weren't really citizens.
Everything that you get, and you're not truly citizens. Ladies and gentlemen, I do want y'all to truly understand that and dissect. These people are finna get better rights than you and me. Better rights than you and me.
And Chicago was at the forefront, passing what's known as the Welcoming City Ordinance.
With the stroke of a pen, your rights will be at long last fully protected.
Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot.
I show from the pastor Lightfoot. I learned about her too, y'all, because she was making headway. She's the reason why Chicago, and I'm going to say this to all my Chicago people, she's the reason why you are losing your football team in your city. I'm going to repeat this one more time for anybody that watched me from Chicago. She is the reason you are losing your football team in the city.
And a group of determined aldermen and community groups pushing back with a newly amended Welcoming City Ordinance.
We are a sanctuary city, and now we have a robust protection of undocumented immigrants.
A truly welcoming city means we have to walk the walk and protect everyone's due process rights.
Chicago's welcome.
How much you think Chicago was getting paid for that? Anybody think Chicago was getting a paycheck for this idea? Do y'all think? No? Maybe? You don't think sanctuary cities get a paycheck? I don't think that mayor, Lightfoot, Brandon Johnson.
Welcoming City Ordinance forbids police from stopping or arresting a person based solely on the suspicion about their immigration status. It blocks police from providing support to federal immigration enforcement operations, and it prevents city agencies from requesting, maintaining, or sharing immigration status.
Now, anyone who disagreed with that Welcoming City policy were deemed racist and right-wing extremists. Here's the new mayor, Brandon Johnson, explaining it.
You know, what we've seen is a very raggedy form instituted by right-wing extremism. Everyone knows that the right-wing extremism in this country has targeted democratically ran cities. And quite frankly, they've been very intentional about going after democratically ran cities that are led by people of color. And their whole motivation is to create disruption and chaos, because that's what that particular party has been about. Right? This is the same political party that did not want to accept that President Obama was actually an American. It's the same Republican right-wing extremism that stormed the Capitol. It's the same right-wing extremism that refuses to accept the results of the Civil War.
Why did nobody fact check him right there? Why don't the Democratic Party get fact checked like y'all fact check the right? When the right say something, it's, oh, stop, you're wrong. The news corrects people of Congress, people of mayors and stuff like that. But the Democratic Party, boy, they say anything and everything. I don't care how it sounds, how it looks, how it be. They are correct. They right. Sanctuary cities, we got to protect those who need protected. Well, who protecting those regular citizens? Who protecting those? Because remember, while they're, hold on, y'all, follow me, because while they're getting protected, y'all defunding the police. We forgetting that the police is getting defunded. All right.
It's raggedy, it's disrespectful, it's mean-spirited, it's an unclean spirit, quite frankly. And so I got you. I just want to make sure that people understand what we're facing. For the extremism in this country to use people as political tools to settle political scores for something that happened 400 years ago. They're still mad that a black man is free in this country.
So the mayor is pretty clear, right? Migrants.
They still mad that a black man is free. Now, I'm just going to say this for those at my job that watch my show, who subscribe. Understand, there are black people at my job that claim that They claim that they are not free. Okay. I want y'all to really somehow get a grasp of that. I don't know how y'all gonna do that. But they tell me, they say they are not free. Girl frowned up at me. I know this one person. I guarantee on my mama, y'all. I bull crap you right now. I bull crap you right now. I guarantee you. She seen hold on. Hell no, this is funny. But she seen me talking to this person, and then when I left, she probably went behind my back and told that lady, like, hey, that dude is a Trump supporter. He's racist. Now, Democrats can't be racist, black people can't be racist, but if you support Trump and you're black, then you're racist.
Should come, and it's racist to think anything else. But even on top of that,
this game, you're not ready for it.
He compared migrants moving from Venezuela and coming across the border to black people moving from, let's say, Texas or Mississippi up to Chicago.
The city of Chicago, a place that birthed the hopes and aspirations through a Jean-Baptiste Point du Sable, that same spirit still lives within the city of Chicago today. The same city that welcomed black families that migrated from the South. You know, my family being a part of that second migration, my father being the eldest in his family, and the settling of black families in Chicago.
But it was not the Democratic Party that y'all was getting settled to when y'all was moving to Chicago, when Chicago first formed. It was not the Democratic Party that you was forming to, that you was settling to in Chicago when Chicago first formed. You was settling in a Republican nation. Northern states were ran by Republicans. Yeah. But it gets worse.
Chicago that was met with resistance, that just like we got through that tumultuous time, we're going to get through this tumultuous time as well.
Despite his early policy victories, Johnson's willingness to coalition build has disappointed some members of the coalition that elected him. They wanted him to cancel the city's controversial ShotSpotter contract, and they're not pleased he's increasing the police budget. It's the reality of governing versus campaigning.
So we have a sanctuary city who's pro-migrant, who wants as many of them to come there so they can ease them right in. You would think there wouldn't be a problem with sending migrants to Chicago, right? He's saying all the good things. But there is a problem. And the people who he thinks are supporting him, his supporters, as you heard at the end of that clip, they're actually saying he's full of crap and they don't support these policies.
I'm standing here tonight with buyer's remorse because I supported Mayor Brandon Johnson. I feel like a fool right now. I feel like a plum fool. But I tell you what, it's okay. Because as I said last night, you can slap us in the face by ignoring us today, but we are punching you in the face by ignoring you at the polling places tomorrow.
So now we have to understand.
We have to understand why.
Why these people are upset. It's because the politicians in these sanctuary cities wanted to make it seem like if you were for any reasonable restrictions at the border, you were racist, as you just heard Mayor Johnson say. So places like Massachusetts, New York, even Chicago could claim that they were pro-immigrant, but really didn't have to worry about any migrants coming to where they were at. But the good people in Texas and Arizona and some of those border states said, we're going to send you those migrants. You want them, you can have them. And the fascinating part about it is that the joys of migrants turned into the horrors of illegal immigration. How so? Well, each one of those sanctuary cities, well, as soon as they started getting the migrants to give sanctuary to, started declaring states of emergency because they couldn't handle the flow of migrants.
The New York City Mayor Eric Adams declaring a state of emergency over the ever-escalating number of asylum seekers coming to the city. The mayor says the shelter system is overwhelmed and that after today, the city will set a new record for the highest number of people ever in the system.
Although our compassion is limitless, our resources are not. Our shelter system is now operating near 100% capacity. This is unsustainable.
Mayor Adams warned the city would end up spending $1 billion on the crisis this fiscal year alone.
Governor Healy just...
Hey, that black Mayor Adam in New York, he tried to go front Joe Biden about the crisis. Yeah, he's under deep doo-doo. Okay? He under some boo-boo. All right, so quit playing. It's about to go down.
declared a state of emergency in Massachusetts because of the number of migrants arriving in Massachusetts. Healy says they are overwhelming local shelters.
Step into Wix Studio, where
Ooh, I
creative
can't wait till I
freedom
can pay
meets
for this,
absolute efficiency.
They're here because Massachusetts has and will always be a beacon of hope, compassion, humanity, and opportunity.
Here in Chicago, Mayor Lightfoot just issued an emergency declaration in response to the surge of migrants being bused to the city by Texas Governor Greg Abbott.
And Casey Cronus is live from City Hall with the latest on this.
Natalie and Anthony, at least 48 more migrants arrived to the city today, and Mayor Lori Lightfoot says she doesn't expect the buses to stop anytime soon. Just as that surge is expected, the city's 7 migrant shelters and 3 respite sites are now overrun. Since last August, the city has welcomed more than 8,000 migrants, but funding and resources are dwindling. Some families have ended up sleeping in police stations. The city has resorted to turning vacant schools into temporary housing sites and is now considering the use of Park District facilities. In a press conference earlier today, Mayor Lightfoot said the city urgently needs more federal dollars to accommodate the influx in migrant families being sent here from the Texas border.
Mayors do a lot of things, but we are not responsible for a broken immigration system.
That's one thing we've been wanting a lot of people to admit and say. That's one thing we've been hoping that the Democratic Party can finally admit. And now that states like Chicago, states like New York have actually said that the immigration problem is there's a problem, you finally get that admitting. And now we can finally get down to how to solve this problem. Now we can get down how to solve the problem. Now we're getting somewhere. A lot of people be like, hey.
President Biden's border.
I know a lot of people are
President
telling
Biden's
us
border.
we're wrong. We're wrong for thinking, we're wrong for doing this, we're wrong for sitting here and seeing these situations turn out the way they are. I believe everybody deserves to be free. Everybody deserves to live their life amongst themselves and be happy. But yet again, in order for America to get right here, the freedom that we got, the freedom that people come over here and damn near lie and steal and kill for to get over here to do, is the same stuff that we take granted for. That be our problem. Never. 700 illegal drug dealers arrested in San Francisco. Never. Come on, y'all.
Dude, this is a horrible.
Got to cover this. Y'all know I do. I said I wasn't going to cover no video, but man, when you see...
They're saying they're just pushing the problem around.
Over the last 6 months, San Francisco law enforcement reports seizing more than 325 pounds of narcotics, including more than 175 pounds of fentanyl off the streets of the Tenderloin and South of Market neighborhoods, a record amount and almost double the amount of fentanyl seized last year. Police say they've made more than 700 arrests for drug sales and 800 for drug use. Chief Bill Scott says those arrests and seizures have started disrupting the city's drug trade, while acknowledging, he says, a constantly evolving illegal market.
We wanted to see a difference on the streets, and I believe we have. I see it, I hear it from the public, but we still have a lot of work to do. You know, there's been some displacement, there's been some time displacement, things shifting from daytime to nighttime.
But Dean Preston, supervisor for the Tenderloin district, says the data aren't the whole story. In a statement, the supervisor said the city has traded its only overdose prevention site for millions of dollars in police overtime, which has led to a record number of overdose deaths. And he says it's only succeeded in shifting the drug markets from one block
that
to
boy
another.
slumped.
The chief
That boy slumped. Crazy. And then think about this is San Francisco in a warm state. If this happening in a warm state, I guarantee these are happening in cold states too. How can you be cold outside, freezing, and all you worried about is getting high? Like I said, this is a warm state we looking at. But how can you sit up here in a cold state and worried about getting high off a drug? That's crazy. I just want y'all to see the title real quick. Ooh-wee.
Says it's only succeeded in shifting the drug markets from one block to another. The chief says the fentanyl crisis is still evolving, but that the arrests and seizures his officers have made are helping to save lives, saying that with more drugs on the streets, there could have been even more than the 750 plus fentanyl deaths in San Francisco so far this year.
If the dealers aren't out there selling, we may be in a much better place in terms of our overdose picture. So I think it's all important. I think it's all relevant. And who knows what those numbers would be if we weren't doing what we're doing right now.
Arrests are only part of the story. The district attorney's office has filed 827 felony narcotics cases so far this year. The DA says her office has filed 369 motions to detain repeat drug dealers, and judges have only granted 34. She says locking up drug dealers will help reduce the flow of drugs on the streets and ultimately help protect the city from an unprecedented fentanyl crisis.
We still continue to see pushback in the courtroom about detaining drug dealers. Just this afternoon, we have on 4 cases involving repeat offenders of selling drugs in our city. And until that is taken more seriously, we'll continue to see these dealers back out on the street.
They need to do time. But you got people like Brandon Johnson, y'all, and it's amazing. You got people like the mayor, Brandon Johnson in Chicago, that's preaching, that's yelling, that's promoting. You can't lock these type of people up because these people are just trying to feed their family. Drug dealers that are killing people with fentanyl on the streets need to be charged, accountable, or accessible to the deaths that they produce. And I'm saying it like that because that with a charge like that, somebody knew they was about to get 30 years for selling fentanyl. You think they'd be selling fentanyl? No. If I knew I was going to get 6 months to a year for selling fentanyl, you think I'm going to sell fentanyl? Yes. Yes. I'm going to sell fentanyl until the wheels fall off because I'm not getting charged for it at all. There's no charge for this drug when, like that lady just said, I'm having a hard time getting a judge to want to lock them up and press charges. What am I supposed to do? Who am I supposed to trust? Where am I supposed to go? Who am I supposed to run into? Now, you heard that Brandon Johnson in Chicago said something about he's increasing the money in police officers. I wonder if they're doing that in San Francisco. Because you can increase the police officers, but if you're not increasing the charges, the time. I know, Snow. Whoever that was, sounded like they almost fell. Hold on, y'all. That was weird. But yeah, y'all. This drug crisis thing, let me just play. We're going to play the end of it. Fuck it. We're going to play the rest of it.
As city leaders say there's still a lot of work to do. Their goal, again, to disrupt the drug markets, and they have, but the drug markets are
Look
evolving.
at these
As the chief told
pictures
us
that-
earlier, those markets appear to be moving into the later evening hours. Law enforcement say it's an...
Hey, now y'all know how I be questioning the film people when they be in war zones and area and they be catching war zone. I'm not questioning these film guys when they catch these homeless people asleep and they catch the homeless outside doing absolutely nothing. Slumped over. I'm not questioning them. They catching the real. That's the real.
ongoing effort to continually adapt to how and when those markets are operating to successfully try to shut them down, guys. We're live in San Francisco. Christian Captain, KTVU, Fox 2 News.
So did you get a sense from the DA today that, she's pleased with what the officers are doing on the streets, but the frustration, at least right now, is really what is in the courtroom with the judges?
Yeah, I think that's a big source for frustration. You heard those numbers, more than 300 requests to try to detain people in relation to drug charges. She says only 34 so far, so she's pointing her finger.
Okay. I got an idea, which is stupid, but I got an idea, which is stupid. Send their ass to Oregon. Hold on, that's California. They don't care. Let them do drugs. They don't. That's the problem when you accepting of drugs because you want tourists to come around and party and have fun and spend money and do whatever they want to do, but then you think that you can hide them behind closed doors. That's what I be thinking all this ruling is. Hey man, I got some rich billion trillionaire guy got a little niece or a daughter who moves to San Francisco or moves to it. I'm gonna say San Francisco as an example. And they like, hey man, I need you to tighten up on them laws because she all into drugs and she don't be caring. She not taking care of her body and she just a whole total mess and stress. And I confess I don't know what to do with this child. So man, I need you to loosen up on some of these laws and stuff. Okay, bro? All right, bro? Check this out. All right, I just need you to do that. I need you to do that. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Clearly at the judges and the courts, which are allowing these accused drug dealers back out. And this is what some people have complained about before in the past, that feeling that it's kind of a revolving door system with our criminal justice
That's
system.
just about 10% right there. All right, Christian Captain, live tonight in San Francisco. Christian, thank you. This recent 6-month joint operation in the city included the deployment of California Highway Patrol and the National Guard into city streets. And let's give you a closer breakdown of those latest CHP numbers. The agency says it is responsible for 119 of the drug-related arrests and getting 30 kilograms of the illegal drugs off the street, including 18 kilos of fentanyl. Overall, CHP has made 430 arrests and issued thousands of citations.
Recordings just got better.
They gonna put the numbers up at
Hey, it's
the
Dana
end,
from
so
StreamYard.
I should have paused it like I thought. I
So
should have
excited to
paused it
announce
like I
that
thought. Damn it. Son of my money, me monkeys. Shit, y'all. This stuff is getting out of hand. It's getting out of hand, man. I'm telling y'all, the immigration problem is getting out of hand. That alone is gonna be a trickle down effect that's gonna affect us later on, and y'all gonna be sitting up here like, you know what? I didn't think it was gonna affect me because I've been doing my thing and stuff like that. Okay. Wait till these people pick up a truck and get a moving company, and they moving people a lot cheaper and a lot quicker because they got 8 people on the job and you only got 3 to 4, and they splitting the money easily. They don't care. They knocking out 5 jobs a day. They don't care. They working at night. They don't care. What do you have to stand up and deal with against somebody who's not from here, whose work ethic is 10 times faster than you? Now, you may know the ins and outs of the business, so therefore I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to give it to you. But, hey, they are coming. They are coming. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's come to my conclusion. It's coming to my realization. It's coming to my realization, baby. That, hey, listen, I'm not gonna bullshit nobody, man. We gonna be dealing with these damn problems, and maybe like my good friend Nate said over there on his podcast, we are gonna be dealing with this if Trump get in office too, or when he get in office, how he get in office, or whatever, however it goes. You know what I'm saying? But I think to be a little bit more stricter, firmer, do something about the wall. You guys, oh wow.
Or Israeli hostages.
This is why my guy is mad. My boy Nay. And I understand when you have an ethnic background from one of these countries, or you sympathize with what these countries are going through on the Gaza Strip with the bombs and stuff going off every day and stuff like that. Like, this stuff is dangerous. This stuff is crazy. This stuff is ludicrous, and we should be thanking God. And I'm finna start thanking God a lot more that I'm not going through none of those crises that you see up in this video. Some of them crises that we see up in the video is mind-blowing. Okay. Mind-blowing of the things that we can sit up here and go through, and then you got people coming home. We finally getting American citizens coming home. It's been a while since American citizens actually came home. There's been a lot of other countries sending people home and stuff like that. So, what's going on? Now, they done changed the subject. But that war over there, that war, I don't even know what to say, because how is it looked at? I don't know what to say. I wouldn't know what to say. I wouldn't know how to present a story. I wouldn't sit up here and debate nobody, because probably majority of the stuff they say it is true. Now, let's get a little bit of insight of what they got to say, what's going on.
More time for negotiations. If approved, The UN would be free to create a system for monitoring the delivery of aid in Gaza. The U.S. has already vetoed previous motions for a ceasefire in the region. As the fighting continues, the Hamas-led health ministry says more than 20,000 people have now been killed in the war in Gaza. UN officials say Gaza is plagued with infectious disease. NBC News foreign correspondent Molly Hunter has the latest.
Outside her family home in Khan Yunis, Noreen Abu Dhaka cries out. Where is my sister? She says. My sister is here. My sister is here. Where is my father? Where is my father? She asks again, but no one has the answer. The agony of not knowing. Hanan Abu Dhaka, the woman in purple, her sister-in-law, calls her husband Mohammed and son Hassan. The next day, the body of Hanan's son has been found. Now one of an estimated 20,000 people killed in Gaza since October 7th, according to the government media office in Hamas-controlled Gaza. Shrouded in a brown blanket, transported to the morgue, her hand never leaves his body. Inside, the boy will be officially counted among the dead. Name, Hassan Mohammed Abu Dhaka, the coroner writes, age 14, location of death, at home airstrikes. Gazan health officials take pictures with his name, his face too disfigured to show. Nurse Abu Ahmed at Nasser Hospital explains the condition of the body and signs of injury from the bombing are fully examined, then documented by the forensics team, and only then the family receives a death certificate. Logging Hassan's name and ID number, it's then sent to Ramallah to the Palestinian health minister's database. Counting the dead amid the chaos of war with little connectivity, with so many still missing, is challenging, and the Gaza Health Ministry does not differentiate between civilian and militant deaths in their wartime data. Doctors Without Borders says it's plausible this death toll may be an underestimate.
The level, the intensity in such a short amount of time, we have not seen that in our history, certainly in the region.
Back in the morgue's parking lot, Salat al-Janaza, the funeral prayer recited for the 5 Abu Dhakas. Their bodies quickly loaded into the back of an ambulance for burial. But there's no funeral, no Beit Azza to mourn their deaths. With a drone overhead, there isn't time. Molly Hunter, NBC News.
In other news, there is political fallout this morning following that first-of-its-kind ruling from Colorado's Supreme Court. It bars former President Donald Trump from appearing on the state's upcoming Republican
primary ballot. We talked about this
ballot.
yesterday. Man, that, like I said, man, that war is the reason why my good friend Nate went off and he was yelling at everybody that watches the show, and he got some pretty good audience, you know what I'm saying? Somebody who's not super famous, he's not looking for fame, he grows good weed, and he has a cure, and he talks about the realness, you know what I'm saying? All what we do, podcasters and streamers, is we just keep it real, we talk about the real, we keep you updated on what's going on, because we feel like it's important that y'all get the real from a real source. You know what I'm saying? I understand that y'all don't watch the news and stuff like that. Only thing I'll be asking for is that, you know what I'm saying, y'all do watch some of the news that I do put out. That's all I'll be asking. You know what I'm saying? Maybe share this out to somebody else that don't have nothing to do, that likes to listen, that wants to learn a little bit more. And be like, come on, man, watch my good friend's show, or watch my cousin's show, or watch the show, and we got something to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Because there are a lot of things to talk about and stuff like that and going on. But yet again, when it comes to that war, I'm going to be honest with you, I personally cannot put myself into that war because I'm not over there. Okay, I'm just gonna keep it real with everybody that's watching. So you'll be like, man, you're not really saying too much about the war. Yeah, because I'm not over there. I'm not deeply into the coverage of the war, so therefore I cannot put my 2 cents in. I can't. It's sad. I don't think it should be happening. I wish it was over with. I can't wait till it's over with. That's about all I can say about that. Now this, what y'all seeing right here, I would make hype over it. I'm just waiting on certain people to make hype over it. Then I'm going to cover it. You know what I'm saying? I covered it yesterday because I was pissed off when I first heard about it. Today's day 2. Trump and what the people are trying to do to him is blase. They're going to keep trying to do this. And, you know, I know everybody's probably tired of hearing about Trump. So that's why I'm not truly covering it. I do want to cover... commercial.
Being arrested and returned so that he can now continue to face those charges here. Joe.
Right, Monica.
Being held in Venezuela on their way home.
San Diego out to Phoenix, including Tucson too. We could see some flooding of those rivers. Alabama, 60s.
And our hostage.
You see how they're hating on the coverage?
Joining us for more on this is NBC News White House correspondent Monica Alba. Monica, good morning. So what else should we know about this deal? Just how significant is this exchange with Venezuela?
It is significant, Joe. It's something that the Biden administration has really been working on for years. This is something, of course, that they give a lot of attention to around the world, and sometimes there are more high-profile cases that we know about, and then there are others that still they're devoting just as much effort to. But what's significant here is really what's happening in terms of the exchange. This is something where the Biden administration has received some criticism because there are questions about if you make a deal with an authoritarian regime, what kind of incentivization does that give to other countries to potentially hold other U.S. citizens who are abroad? But the White House and the president have really said that these are difficult decisions to make, but one that he had to because these Americans were being held illegally in the U.S. view, and that it was important to get them back home. And then, of course, this is a calculation they have to make in terms of releasing others that they maybe would have wanted to, of course, keep in the U.S., but it's something they said that they felt in the end was absolutely worth it, Joe.
So we saw 6 of the 10 Americans land in Texas yesterday. What have we learned about the Americans who were released, and what are they saying now that they're free?
Yeah, and you can see them right there. It was certainly an emotional return for them landing in San Antonio, Texas overnight. Some of them said that for some of their time in Venezuela, they were treated decently, but that for other stretches of time, they had no idea when they would be allowed to return home. So you can imagine what it must have felt like to touch down. And here's a little bit from one of the wrongfully detained Americans.
Free at last, thank God Almighty, free at last. Very emotional, exciting, grateful. So much gratitude for the moment, for the United States of America, for all of you, and for the opportunity to come home. I didn't know if I would ever make it out, and it's really scary to be in a place where you're used to having freedoms and you're locked into a cell.
And the other important context here, Joe, is that Venezuela has agreed, according to the U.S., to hold free and fair elections next year. That was a big part of this deal and something the U.S. was working to secure.
And there's one other part of this deal, the extradition of fugitive Leonard Francis, who's better known as Fat Leonard. He actually fled to Venezuela before his sentencing in the U.S. Just what more should we know about him?
Yeah, he had a monitoring anklet on in San Diego. He cut it off years ago. He fled through Mexico to Venezuela. So this is somebody who was a part of one of the worst bribery scandals in U.S. Navy history. So someone the U.S. was very interested in seeing arrested and returned so that he can now continue to face those charges here.
Not too many people that you will hear about have a nickname, bro. That's funny to me, bro. The boy got a nickname. What was it again? We want it. We said we want that boy. That boy was fucking with the Navy. America, 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 America. What are we gonna do with you? And everybody like, I don't give a fuck. Smoke my weed, drink my Hennessy. I don't care. Leave me alone. Okay. Y'all better start paying attention to some of this stuff because, bro, if some of these people be getting out here in America, it's called, what they call them? Sleeper cells. I know y'all done heard on TikTok, you little TikTokers. Watch out for them sleeper cells. All right? Watch out for them sleeper cells. I ain't gonna hold y'all too much longer. It's been a good show, I think. Till next time, y'all.